Nikki Bella is legitimately banged up after taking a devastating devil's kiss from Paige at Survivor Series, and what we're hearing from backstage sources is raising major concerns about her condition. What's up, wrestling region fam? This isn't a storyline, folks. This is real. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss breaking wrestling news like this. Now let's talk about what happened, what it means for Nikki, and the bigger conversation about in-ring safety. Let's break it all down. For those who missed the event or need a recap, Nikki Bella was involved in a high-stakes match at Survivor Series that saw her go head-to-head with Paige. Now, Paige's finishing move, the Devil's Kiss, is a modified version of the Rampage, where she drives her opponent's face directly into the mat. It's a brutal-looking move even when executed perfectly, but something went wrong during this particular spot. Multiple sources backstage have confirmed that Nikki took a harder impact than intended during the Devil's Kiss execution. Witnesses reported that the angle was off, and instead of distributing the impact properly, Nikki's neck and upper back absorbed more force than they should have. Immediately after the match concluded, medical staff were seen checking on her, and she reportedly had difficulty standing without assistance. According to reports from wrestling journalists who were at the event, Nikki was visibly shaken after the match. She was helped to the back by trainers and WWE medical personnel, which is never a good sign. The fact that this happened during a pay-per-view event means that WWE's medical team was on high alert and able to respond immediately, but it also means this incident happened in front of thousands of live fans and millions watching at home. What's particularly concerning is that sources close to the situation have indicated Nikki was experiencing neck pain, headaches, and possible concussion symptoms following the match. Anyone who follows wrestling knows that neck injuries are nothing to mess around with. We've seen far too many careers shortened or ended entirely because of neck trauma, and the WWE has become much more cautious about these injuries in recent years. Let's talk about the move itself for a moment. Paige's Devil's Kiss, also known as the Rampage in some variations, is undeniably one of the more dangerous-looking finishers in WWE's women's division. The move requires the person taking it to essentially free fall face first toward the canvas while their opponent drives them down with additional force. When executed correctly, the person taking the move can protect themselves by getting their hands down or by the delivering wrestler controlling the descent. But there's such a small margin for error. If the timing is off by even a split second, if the grip slips, or if the angle isn't perfect, the consequences can be severe. This isn't to say Paige is reckless or unsafe in the ring. She's a talented performer who has proven herself time and time again. Wrestling is inherently dangerous, and accidents happen even to the most skilled performers. The women's revolution in WWE has brought increased physicality and athleticism to women's matches, but that also means increased risk. Credit where credit is due, WWE has significantly improved their concussion protocols and injury management over the past decade. Gone are the days when wrestlers were expected to just shake it off and keep performing. The company now has comprehensive medical staff at every event, baseline concussion testing, and strict return-to-action protocols. Following this incident, Nikki was reportedly taken to a local medical facility for evaluation. WWE's standard procedure in situations like this involves CT scans, neurological assessments, and monitoring for any signs of serious injury. The fact that they're taking these precautions is encouraging, even though it confirms that the injury was serious enough to warrant immediate medical attention. As of right now, WWE hasn't released an official statement about Nikki's condition, which is standard practice. The company typically waits until they have complete medical evaluations before making any public announcements. This protects the talent's privacy and ensures they're not spreading premature or inaccurate information. This incident opens up a larger conversation about safety in professional wrestling, particularly in the women's division. The women's evolution in WWE has been incredible to witness. Female performers are now main eventing pay-per-views, competing in cage matches, ladder matches, and showcasing the same level of athleticism and risk-taking as their male counterparts. But with that evolution comes increased danger. We've seen several concerning injuries in the women's division over the past few years. Paige herself had to retire due to neck injuries. Sasha Banks has dealt with multiple back and neck issues. Alexa Bliss has suffered concussions. The list goes on. The question becomes, How do we balance the desire for hard-hitting, memorable matches with the need to protect the performers? It's a question without an easy answer. Wrestling will always be dangerous. That's part of what makes it compelling. But there needs to be an ongoing conversation about which spots are worth the risk and how to execute high-impact moves as safely as possible. At this point, speculation about Nikki Bella's immediate future would be premature. We don't have enough information about the severity of her injuries. However, we can look at similar situations to understand the potential scenarios. If this is a minor neck strain or a mild concussion, Nikki could potentially return to action within a few weeks after clearing WWE's medical protocols. If it's more serious, we could be looking at months of recovery time. In the worst-case scenario, if there's significant neck trauma, this could be career-threatening. Nikki has already established herself as one of the most successful female wrestlers in WWE history. She's a former Divas champion with one of the longest title reigns ever. She's transcended wrestling to become a mainstream celebrity. If she decided that her health was more important than continuing to compete, no one could fault her for that decision. We should also address Paige's potential feelings about this incident. Any wrestler worth their salt feels terrible when they accidentally hurt someone in the ring. Paige is known for being a consummate professional, and sources indicate she was visibly upset after the match when she realized Nikki was hurt. The wrestling community typically rallies around both the injured party and the person involved in the accident. These situations are occupational hazards, and the last thing anyone wants is for Paige to be vilified for what appears to be an unfortunate accident. The focus should be on supporting both performers and learning from the incident to prevent future injuries. The wrestling community on social media has been overwhelmingly supportive of Nikki since news of the injury broke. The hashtag messages sending well wishes have been trending, and fans from all corners of the wrestling world have put aside their usual debates to express genuine concern for her well-being. This shows the positive side of the wrestling community. Despite all the fantasy booking debates and online arguments, when a performer is legitimately hurt, fans remember that these are real people putting their bodies on the line for our entertainment. So where does this leave us? We're waiting for official word from WWE on Nikki Bella's condition, but early reports suggest she's legitimately banged up after that Devil's Kiss spot at Survivor Series. This is a developing story, and we'll continue to monitor the situation and provide updates as soon as we get reliable information. The incident serves as a stark reminder of the very real dangers these performers face every time they step into that ring. Wrestling is scripted, but the athleticism is real, the impacts are real, and the injuries are definitely real. To Nikki Bella, we wish you a full and speedy recovery. To Paige and everyone involved, we hope you're holding up okay through this difficult situation. And to WWE, we trust you're taking every precaution necessary to ensure Nikki gets the medical care she needs. What are your thoughts on this situation? Have you been concerned about the physicality in women's wrestling? Let us know in the comments below, but please keep it respectful. This is about a real person's health and well-being. If you found this video informative, give it a thumbs up and share it with your fellow wrestling fans. Don't forget to subscribe to Wrestling Region 200 for more breaking news, analysis, and everything happening in the world of professional wrestling. Hit that notification bell so you're always first to know when we drop new content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, Wrestling fam.